Fabiano Caruana is in a must-win situation here in the finals of the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour, Weissenhaus, Germany. First game was won by Vincent Keymer, and Fabiano needs to strike back. They shake hands, and what is Caruana's first move going to be? It's a critical position here because opening determines so much in freestyle chess. It's one of the most important parts of the game, and Fabi wears his heart rate monitor, and that's some new innovation that has been done in this tournament. Now you want to push your d pawn, open the queen, e pawn, f pawn, all look pretty decent here. So Caruana takes a few seconds and opens the game with 1 d4. Now watch the clock here. Vincent Keymer starts with 1 hour 30 minutes and 30 seconds. And when he makes the move f5, he's down to 1 hour 9 minutes and 17 seconds. That means he took 21 minutes for this move, which is incredible. Now Fabi very quickly attacks the pawn. You don't want to be pushing this pawn because queen takes f4 is right there waiting to pounce on it. d5, very strong move, stopping e4, also defending the pawn. Caruana goes f3 with the idea of pushing forward with e4. And now what does Vincent do here? Well, he pushes his central pawn to e5. If you take here, rook takes, then there is f4 maybe. The bishop could come in. It looks fine, slightly better for white. So he takes here on e5. And rook takes e5 is what we could expect in such a position. But Vincent goes knight g6. Now this is a shocking move because Vincent is giving up a pawn because this pawn can be protected with f4, and Caruana does exactly that. He plays f4, he protects the pawn, and the idea of Vincent is to go knight h4, and he says that there's no way you can defend that. So that 21-minute thing at the start of the game was for exactly this reason. c4 played. And now if you take knight takes g2, there's bishop a4 attacking the rook. So the rook gets a square here and it's not trapped. But Vincent finds the best move again. He takes the pawn. What a guy. Vincent Keymer raising to the occasion, and although we have played only 6 or 7 moves, it's already clear that the worst is behind black. Now black is the one who's in the driver's seat. That's how important opening is in freestyle chess. e4 played here by Fabi, and now you can take the pawn on g2, but there's an incredibly strong move and he finds it, g5. Wow, the bishop is to be activated here, and that's the idea. Knight takes f5 taken. Well, if you took f takes, then there's f4, and if you take with the queen, there's knight takes g2 fork. So knight f5, Vincent takes back the knight, pawn takes. And what's on his mind here? He takes on f5 with the queen, check to the king. And the bishop comes back to c2, blocking the check. And now Vincent Keymer takes the pawn on f4. So you will see that he has managed to win a pawn in the position. And in this finals where he needs just a draw, this is such a big thing. Caruana tries to keep the queens on the board because that is an important thing for him. Vincent comes back with his queen to f7. If bishop takes on g5, then you have bishop a5 attacking the rook. So he played knight to g3. Knight comes out to g6. Calmly and steadily moving along here in this critical game. Now he takes the pawn. The thing is, you cannot really win the pawn on e5 because of bishop d8, rook d8, and then e5 hangs. So he goes bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. And now queen f4 once again, offering the trade of queens. It's an offer which you cannot refuse. If you try to play queen h5, I'll go long castle, and look at the beautiful coordination I have. So queen takes queen played here by Fabi. Knight takes f4. And now, even though the material has evened out, defending the g2 pawn is not easy. He long castles here, because if he went bishop e4 trying to protect this, then long castle, and black is just really well placed. So castles, knight takes g2 taken here, attacking the rook. Rook comes to g1, and now maybe just knight e3. Yes, Vincent finds knight e3, forking the bishop and the rook. And knight comes to f5, attacking the knight here on e3. The knight takes on d1. He takes the rook. He goes rook g7. Wow. Amazing play here. The threat, of course, is knight d6, attacking the rook, and rook b7 mate. That's the idea. But what a beautiful move here by Vincent. He castles long and check to the king. You can go king b8, but you can also take here. Rook takes d6. Let's see what Vincent chooses. I think Vincent decides to play it safe. Also now, it's if you play rook b7, I have king a8, and I'm completely winning because there's a threat of rook takes d6. So knight e8, rook e8, bishop d1, bishop to d5. This bishop is well positioned. Rook takes pawn here, and Vincent takes the pawn. He's a pawn up in this rook bishop endgame, and although white has this outside passer, it's not really a very strong pawn, and you can just simply go behind it and attack it. Goes rook e1, pinning the bishop. King d2, and now rook h1, stopping the pawn here. h5, goes check to the king. And the king moves up, king c3. He goes with a check. So Vincent really making Fabiano repeat here, king d2, and I think a check comes in. There's nothing much that Fabi can do here. He would like to continue the game, but it's just a draw. Vincent Keymer is forcing the draw here. A check again, king comes back, and I believe Vincent can now claim a threefold repetition. He looks at Fabi. They both look at each other and agree to a draw. Vincent Keymer is the champion of the first Grand Slam tour of Freestyle Chess 2025 in Weissenhaus. He has managed to win the first leg here in Germany. The local boy, I guess no one would have given him a chance to win when in a field you have Magnus, Hikaru, Fabi, Ali Reza and players of that stature. But Vincent played amazingly well, and especially in this game, his opening play was just simply off the charts. And really impressive play by the youngster. He's impressed one and all with his level-headedness, his ability to understand where the pieces belong in freestyle chess, and that has helped him to win this tournament and take home a massive prize of $200,000. There you can see he's discussing with Fabi, but this might be a breakthrough moment for Vincent in his career.